That's Highly Suspect with Lost on 89.1 WYBF. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Rich Meyer from Highly Suspect. I'm so excited. Let me give you a little run through the Grammy-nominated band Highly Suspect. They started out in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and moved to Brooklyn, New York. They are the hottest rock band out of 2015. The trio of Johnny Stevens, the guitarist and lead vocals, the twins Rich Meyer, who's on bass and vocals, and Ryan Meyer, drummer. The band is coming off a monumental year. I have to repeat it over and over. They have won so many numerous awards and honors. Billboard charts confirm that they had the 4th most streamed song, Lydia, beating out bands like Royal Blood, Foo Fighters, Breaking Benjamin, Hailstorm, AC/DC, and their album Mr. Asylum was the number 7th top rock album on Billboard. And December 1st, they won the Best Rock Song in the 5th Annual Loud Rock Music Awards, beating out bands like Offspring, 3 Days Grace, and Shinedown. Performing tonight at the Double Door in Chicago, I give you Rich from Highly Suspect. Rich, can you hear me, sir?
What's up, John?
Nothing much. How you doing, Rich?
Well, I mean, a whole lot better now. I kind of forgot about all that stuff.
Like I said, it is a pleasure to be speaking with you. You were looking wicked awesome in your suit for the Grammys, man. I was impressed.
I want to say thank you for saying wicked. That's a phrase that I grew up with growing up on Cape Cod. So I used to always say wicked awesome.
Cool. Rich, I was wondering, everybody knows the story. You guys grew up, you're in Cape Cod. You, Johnny, and your brother hung out, and then you guys started playing covers in the basement, started the band, and then it just progressed from there. I was wondering, how did you guys come up with the name, Highly Suspect?
Johnny's dad recommended that we use the word highly in our name because we were all potheads. And so we put the word highly into a band's name generator on the interwebs, and Highly Suspect was the first one that came up. It was that easy.
That's awesome, man. So what about the logo? Because in a lot of interviews or even on the logo for the website for the band, there's MCID, and then on the side there's BKCC. Does that stand for anything?
Yeah, MCID stands for My Crew is Dope, and that's our logo. It's a publishing company. It's called MCID, and we all have MCID tattoos, and that's just our acronym for everything. BKCC stands for Brooklyn, Cape Cod.
You guys are really, really clever. I had an idea. It's like, maybe that's Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah. You were right about that.
So you guys were at the Grammys, and you also got to perform. Did you guys get to meet Muse or anybody else that you were looking forward to?
As a matter of fact, I did. I bumped right into them as I was leaving the final performance. It was like an hour before the end of the show, so I was leaving early, and I was with my parents and Ryan. We were waiting for the car to show up. I was actually on the phone with the driver, and I had to get off the phone with him because I was standing right next to Matthew Bellamy, and I was like, all right, let me call you back. So I introduced myself and Ryan, and they were actually really cool guys. Matthew actually apologized for winning.
It's awesome, man. I'm happy you guys got to meet them. You guys performed Lydia, and in interviews, you guys say usually that there's no preset process for when you prepare for a show. What was your thoughts going into the performance, and then afterwards, what were you thinking?
Well, I mean, there's a whole lot of preparation that goes into being on TV. What I'm going to wear, what we might say, stuff like that is always a consideration. But once you get there, everybody's like doing everything for you, like setting up your instruments, feeding you, and like directing you on like where your green room is and how to get to sound check and like where to go next. And just kind of like thinking about what party I'm going to go to after everything, or like what my mom's going to think. Because I brought my parents. Yeah, so I don't know, stuff like that, really.
You guys are really rock and roll. Every time I see you guys, you're always doing your own thing. You're reinventing what it's to be a band. Let's talk about the album a little bit. So the album cover is great. What was the inspiration behind the Navy vet and the girl?
Well, actually, we didn't really think much about it. We were looking at this artist, Eugenia Lawley's collages. Really liked a few of them. Picked out several of them. The single covers for Lydia and Lost are both Eugenia Lawley's artwork. We really liked the one that we chose. We thought that it represented being embraced by the universe, which is kind of the way life has felt the past couple of years. Everything's kind of fallen into place for us. I don't know. It fit.
Prior to the release of Mr. Asylum, you guys had recorded certain songs on that record for your Highly Suspect album, the Worst Humans EP. I was wondering, when you were redoing those songs for the Mr. Asylum album, how were you trying to differentiate between the recordings? What were you really focusing on? I've heard Lydia before the Mr. Asylum album, and I hear it, there's still the same feel. There's the same general idea behind the songs.
Well, the only thing that we really had to do with Lydia was to record it so that it would sound congruent with the rest of the songs. That song was pretty much done. It was almost 2 years old by the time we went on to the album. I think we changed the beginning. It made it a little bit longer, I think. That's it, though. There's just like little tweaks and stuff. Every song, changes over time as we play it over and over again. They evolve. Even the songs that are on the album right now, they're a little different now. Like, even the ones that were new when they recorded them, they're almost a year old now. For us, they sound different now. It's one of our methods. We never stay the same, constantly evolving. We don't ever want to be doing the same exact thing night after night, which a lot of bands do. That works for them. That's like a comfort zone kind of thing. We have the opposite thing going on. I get uncomfortable if I'm doing the same thing every day, claustrophobic, if you will, and the other guys will kind of have the same feeling towards the monotony of it. Yeah, everything evolves. If you come to a show in 6 months, you'll notice it's different from what we played 6 months ago.
And that's what a lot of my buddies were looking forward to. You guys did a free show at Philadelphia for WMMR's Preston and Steve Camp Out for Hunger, and man, you blew them away. And I remember in July when the album actually dropped, I was an intern at that station. I popped it in my car, and it has never left my CD player.
Oh, cool.
One of those songs that really captivated me, though, was Blood Feather. I was wondering if you still remember the story behind its writing.
Yeah, I think I remember something vaguely about Johnny was trying to hook up with this chick who he thought was way out of his league. That was the way he was looking at it at the time. She was kind of cold to him. Just the basis of the song, really. I mean, he went out to California to work with a songwriter, Scott Stevens.
Right.
Scott helped him with the structure of the song. He already had the lyrics and the basic chord structure and everything. But yeah, that's the general gist of that one.
So you guys get asked a lot of questions over and over and over again. I keep on hearing questions about, what's this about Mr. Asylum? What's that mean? Or what's Lydia? What's the story behind that? And over and over. I'm just like, do you guys ever get sick of it to the point where you just like, you mess around with the interviewer?
No, I kind of sit with it. I understand that everybody's got the same curiosities as the next. It's understandable. The day that I get to a point where I'm so sick of the questions that I would do that, I just won't do interviews.
That's very noble of you, because a lot of guys I've seen just, they go off on people or they hang up or they walk out. It's really interesting to see how different musicians and different people handle that situation. Another thing is, you guys have toured almost every major festival there is. You guys have been around. You've toured with Morning Jacket, Hailstorm, Scott Weiland before he passed. You've done Lollapalooza. And I was wondering, while out on tour, were there any certain artists that took a special liking to you guys that went out of their way to teach you the ins and outs? And if so, who were they and what was a special advice they gave you for you guys while you were out on tour?
Chevelle was really cool to tour with. They were very personable. Sam, the drummer, took a lot of time to kind of chide us whenever he felt that there was something we didn't know anything about. It was never like about music. It was just about like surviving on the road, kind of. And he would talk to Ryan about music because they're both drummers. He would talk about getting along with each other because like the dynamics of band members, like relationships, interrelationships is complicated. You have the different types of people, type A's or type B's. You're the logistic aspect of things and relationship aspect of things, relationship with people back home, relationships with your label and your crew and your management, stuff like that. They were great. It was the most positively educational experience I've had on the road yet with another band. Really, really awesome dudes. I hope I get to tour with them again.
That's really great. Hey, I know I got to let you go soon. So what is the best advice you have been given or gotten while in the band?
I don't really think I can answer that accurately, but the first thing that pops into my head would be don't buy a tour bus, rent one, because owning one is like crazy expensive and not worth it. It's a pain in the ass.
Rich, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Would you mind giving us an ID before you go, please?
Hey, this is Rich from Highly Suspect, and you're listening to John the Ninja on 89.1 WYBF.
My heart is pounding.